Hello everyone! Lady Mappy here with a bit of something different. I finished up recording this episode of, what I was referring to as Harry Posse and the Philosopher's Stone, and I closed Audacity without exporting the MP3. So we're gonna give a try for some post-commentary. Oh lordy, this is gonna be interesting. Anyway, I will explain after we talk to Hagrid. Harry, back to your bed with you. 'Tisn't safe out here. There's teachers about. We're gonna walk around a little bit. We're gonna go back and talk to Hagrid. I already warned you once. Back to Gryffindor unless you want to lose house points. So yeah, we're wandering around the halls of Hogwarts at night as in preparation for a wizard duel with Draco, and I was very happy to find those sickles. That's why I'm rubbing my face against the bookshelf. Do I always play this terribly? I'm just looking at past me and wondering about decisions. So one thing that I have not yet realized in the video is that all the doors are locked, except for the one door that we can go through, which is locked in the normal course of the game. I also spend quite a bit of time going, I do not know where the trophy room we are supposed to be going to is. And I try to get into the card collecting club, and I think there's some, a bunch of seriously unfunny puns about how it's not in the cards. Yep. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to edit or cut, because, quite frankly, this is a completely new thing to me. I think that, yeah, this is, I think, the first time I've ever done post-commentary. Here I am trying to find a secret passage in amongst the trophies. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Just come away from there. I think I was trying to talk to people at that point. So, the stealth mechanic here, as you just saw, McGonagall just kind of stands there, staring in one direction. I don't know if it's a case of if you have to walk up and talk to them, or if you pass their line of sight, a la Pokemon. Because, and I think it's not right now, it's later, but I kind of demonstrate that you can walk up behind them and just nothing will happen. Also, yeah, the infirmary is locked at night, so kids, I hope you don't have any, like, nighttime sickness. Then again, if you get sick at night, they'll probably just dock you house points because you're walking around trying to get some medical attention. It's like, oh, you're supposed to be in bed. I'm dying! You're supposed to be in bed. Harry, go prepare a potion. Ah yes, Flitwick's right there. I don't know why I'm trying to explore everything. I've searched all the cubbies in the past, and I know for a fact that all the shortcuts and such are locked. Why am I like this? We should stay up here, Harry. Okay, yeah. Ron's just going, yeah, the trophy room's here. And I'm like, what? No, it can't be. It's not there. There's something in there, but that's not there. I don't even know if I should be reading out this stuff because, yeah, it's weird watching yourself play a game in utter silence. Yep. And just ramming your face against stuff. Meanwhile, there's supposed to be like some kind of backing track, and it's just not there. Yep, and there I'm having some problem with the menu. I don't know if it's this point or later where I mentioned that I'm recording this on the same day that I'm recording some Alundra videos. And so with the controller, the button that X is mapped to on the controller is the same as the where the B button is mapped on that controller for when I'm playing this. So that's why, if you've ever wondered, I keep going into the menus and then backing out. That's not on purpose. Except for when it is. Yep, young Malfoy said they'd be here. Wow. I'm not sure I like this post-commentary thing. It feels stuff. Ah yes, this is the room where I initially was like super afraid that the statues were gonna come alive and attack me. Yeah, that didn't happen. One thing that I think's interesting is that I believe it was the cutting room floor mentioned that there apparently are like sprites for those pits actually being like spike traps or something. Which, I mean, it's already bad enough that there's these random like pits that you can't go through. Ah yes, we're checking the Folio Magi because, oh man, oh nope. Yes. Naming some cards that we've seen before. Mopsus. Mopsus is a good name. I think at this point I also mentioned that the whole idea behind the deck we got is that it really biases you towards Divination and Generalist. Like, it really biases you towards it. And I can't remember which one I pick up here. It might be Heroic Strength, I'm not sure. You know, maybe if I kept a note or something. Oh, plot's happening. Have you found a way to get to the Philosopher's Stone yet? Nah. I think it was... I can't... At least tell me how to get past your little hocus-pocus. But it would be a betrayal. We'll just speak again when you've decided where your loyalties lie. I don't know why I decided to, like, give Snape a voice like that. Because, I mean, the standard one is just, he's very nasally. He's a very Snapey Snape boy. But yeah, no, Harry is like, oh man, I don't know what it is, but Snape wants to steal this thing. Ah, yes. Oh man, where are we gonna hide from Filch? I know, we're gonna run across the hallway into here, and oh my... It was locked earlier. And then, you know... oh yeah, I was ranting and raving about the puppy. And yeah, Hermione just basically, like, smack-talks Neville for making fun of, Quirrell. And it's like, no, he's scared of the puppy. But Harry is terrified of dogs, apparently. Yep. Okay, so yes, we're talking about plot. This is the whole, hey, we found where there's like the secret corridor has the trapdoor in it. Yeah, that's the word. Then they go back, and then the monsters show up. We're gonna get into a few fights with the monsters. Oh my god. Remember earlier when we were like going in and saying hi to the spiders and they absolutely murdered us? Yeah. These turtles mean business. And as we are going to soon find out, we don't actually have all that many healing items. This is going to be a problem later. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a bit of tea steeping, so I'm just going to have a sip of that. Lovely. So, I think I intentionally get into a few fights to try to... Yes. So this is really the point where, the fact that certain spells are good against certain things really comes into play. You're gonna notice pretty quickly that most of my spells deal 1 damage, which is a method of doing, like, yeah, that's a 1 damage crit. Like, this is definitely a method, that you could adopt when you are designing your game. for elemental vulnerabilities and resistances, but I don't know if it's a good one. At the same time, I don't know if it's like this isn't actually the intended setup. Because the thing is, like, when I'm using Vermilius, or Vermilius Duo, I'm dealing a reasonable amount of damage to these turtles. Like, it's definitely something where if I had the right magic items, or not items, but like magic items, but recovery items, use some sweet replenish magic. Oh right, yes, I'm gonna have to like put some notes on for flashing lights because I'm using card combinations, and for some ungodly reason they decided, oh yeah, those are just full screen colored lights all over the place. Yeah, no, okay, I'm just gonna point out, look at how good the XP and the money is for those things. Ah yes, here's where I'm experimenting and seeing if I can like just walk up behind her. I commented that she has an invisibility cloak because the sprites seem to be having trouble. I don't know if that's an emulator thing. I don't remember this happening on the Game Boy Color. Yeah, no, here's a fun fight because, oh, that looks like those little snakes that we run into the garden. Yeah, that we run into in the garden, right? No. No. I also forget that snakes are fireproof. To be fair to me, in the past, it doesn't seem like they should be. But yeah, no, general game design thing. I'm not sure how much I like the whole thing where there's a bunch of enemies that are essentially immune to all damage types except for one. That seems a little overly restrictive, especially since, as you probably noticed, none of our friends help us out in these fights. Like, none of them. I'm given to understand that in the sequel, like, Ron actually properly joins your party. But I seem to recall that I was making some comments about how there's a reason in the majority of JRPGs that you control multiple characters. And part of that is action economy. I was playing a different game earlier. I was taking a poke at Legend of Legaia, which has its own which I have a long story about, if I ever play that for you guys. Where I was noticing, because the game starts you off just by yourself with your main character, and it also likes throwing fights with, like, 2 enemies at you. Now that might not sound problematic, but it's the kind of thing where, since it's early in the game and everything takes, like, 2 to 3 hits to take down, the fact that you're fighting 2 enemies at once means that instead of, like, fighting something, let's say you're fighting something that's slower than you, and it takes 2 hits to take down. If you're fighting one of them, you're gonna take, like, you're gonna take a good, you're gonna take, like, 1 hit before you drop it. If you're fighting 2 of them, on that first turn, you're gonna take 2 attacks. The second attack, you're gonna take 1 attack. Basically, you're gonna take 4 attacks instead of 1. You're gonna get action economy down. It's gonna be terrible. And that's kind of what happens here. It does not help that essentially I have to skip a turn to recover MP. Because, yeah, that's just a time for enemies to beat me up. Now, I will say that I think part of the problem here is that, one, I didn't really do much grinding. I did a little bit of grinding in between videos getting back to where we were like before the last video. But I haven't really been grinding that much otherwise, which makes areas like this a little more unreasonable. Especially since I feel like I would need to grind more to get the items. What I probably should do when I get to a position where I can just do it is go to the infirmary and just grind in that like side cupboard with a bunch of spiders in it. Also, yeah, I was making some kind of comment about how Hagrid's all like, yeah, you don't bother the turtles, they don't bother you. Yeah, Hermione's just going like, yeah, stop being idiots, I'm going to bed. Neville's like, oh, I need to go to bed too. My frog, my toad. Toad can't sleep without me. And immediately we should tell McGonagall about Snape. I don't think she'd believe us, and if she did, it would prove that we were wandering around the halls last night. Maybe, but we have to do something. We need more proof if we're going to convince McGonagall. We must figure out what this Philosopher's Stone is. Good idea. Let's start tomorrow, though. I've had enough adventures for one night. Good night, Harry. Good night, Ron. Yes. And I started, shouting about how it's like, no, they do seem very forbidding. Well, shouting is probably the wrong word, but, like, no, they don't seem less forbidding just because we got into one fight with their... No, the turtles are still... The turtles are still murderers. Oh, yes! Ah, this sequence. This sequence is good! Also, yeah, this is Harry and Ron bullying Hermione. Yeah, she's tired of Hermione. She thinks she knows everything. It's no wonder no one can stand her. Guys, I'm standing right here. How could they say that about me? She runs off upstairs to the girls' bathroom. And it's like, yeah, Harry's like, good, she heard me. Yeah. Want her to know how much we just hate her. She's the worst. Wow, okay, so I can't even remember what I was commenting there, because I was kind of... I don't know. But yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I just saw her, don't know where she went, I don't care, yada yada. Look for her, everyone's supposed to assemble for the Halloween party. It's interesting to me that they're spelling Halloween like that. I know that's a proper spelling. I'm not sure where that's a proper spelling. Is that the English spelling? Or, sorry, Commonwealth spelling? Oh yes. I was trying to go up and get some healing. Or like go off and find somewhere to grind, because we all know it's coming. Oh, we all know it's coming. But first, some tea. Have you seen that Hermione lady? She's in the toilets, crying her eyes out thanks to you, you jerk. Oh no, I didn't mean for that to happen. Outside of my sight. Yeah, we show up and... Troll on the first floor. It doesn't have the same ring as Troll in the dungeons! I thought you'd like to know. Yep, the prefects are like, yeah, grab these kids. They don't. They don't at all. Like, you know how in the books and movies, like, Harry and Ron just sneak out from the pack? They don't in this. They just don't. They just walk upstairs. And we're gonna get some fun gameplay coming up. Oh yeah, you don't get to hear me, like, doing all my complaining. Good! Yeah, what was Snape doing up here? Worry about him later. Let's find Hermione. Do you smell something? Yeah, it's like old sucks in a public toilet. Maybe we're near Slytherin. Nope, it's a troll. Run, look. Where's it going? Yep, and then Hermione swam. Now, Harry, you have to save her, and I'm like, Ron? Ron? Okay, I'm gonna save. Let's go in there. Not fumbling at the door. Ron's like, gotta save the Hermione, though, and so we go in here to save the Hermione. which is, and you guessed it, a boss fight. I'm starting at 23 health. I have no healing items. Oh no, I think I've got like some pepper juice potion or whatever. I don't have any like proper healing items. Yeah, that's predictable. So we're popped out here. Ron had a Wiggenweld potion, which totally should have given me before. But yeah, we're completely healed. And we're gonna do this a few times. And I think there is one point where... Yeah, okay, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one in a bit. Yeah, no, we're in here. And I'm gonna try to Incendio. Because when Guardian Leviosa didn't work, despite that being how they beat the troll in the actual book. Okay, so that one doesn't work. Yeah, this is more of that, like, you gotta use that one very specific spell thing. Yeah, and also that crit. That crit is impressive. Basically, what I really need to do, or what I really need to get to, is I really need to get to having over 80 MP, because that's the point where the game just kind of breaks. Yeah, the umbrella doesn't do much. This one is really just Vertimilius over and over again. Hope you don't screw up. Hope you knew to do that to start with. I mean, I do feel like if I'd been grinding and I had like slightly better equipment, there would be more room for error. But at the same time, yeah. Yeah. I think this is the point where I start going like, hey, do we have... No. I'm guessing that's the next one. That's the next time through. Because I think this time through I'm just trying to experiment in like, hey, if I do everything perfectly, will I do the winning thing? I'd like you to keep in mind that this spell, I'm required to cast it, I think it's like 10 or so times? I only have enough MP for 8 casts. This guy kills me in roughly, I would say 7 hits? Or like 7 solid hits. So basically this comes down to a like really luck-based damage race. Again, I feel like if I had done a bit more grinding, maybe this would be a little bit less heinous. But at the same time, this is not exactly the most mechanically thrilling combat. Again, I think that it would be slightly better if, like, we had Ron with us also casting spells, using his Ron magic. Because then at least, then we'd also have, you know, some people to split between. I'll be honest, I'm also not a fan of not having good, like... Yes, this is the point where I realized I don't have any good healing items. And I was like, oh no. Yep. Ron heals me, and I'm like, okay, can I go downstairs, go out to grind a little? No. I'm sorry, Harry, but thou must. Can I go upstairs to get, like, more equipment or whatever? No. Sorry, Harry, but thou must. And then I was searching that statue for no good reason. I remember this bit, let's put it that way. This is the point where I'm, like, yelling at Ron and going, like, why aren't you helping me? Also, I think this is also the point where I'm like, I'm gonna save state! I'm gonna save scum through this, because I think that's the only way we can beat this. little do I realize that, thanks to muscle memory from Alundra. Also, this fight's probably gonna be really slow because I'm I'm quote-unquote save stating between each round. Like, okay, Zero, I'm gonna save state. I was hitting the wrong button. So basically, I wasn't save stating at all. I was hitting the, like, save state button for the PlayStation emulator. And not this one. Fun. Come on, me. Those are all fake. Those are fake save states. They won't actually help you. This is gonna be a pain to sync, I think. I did do like a little sync thing earlier on where I tried to sync with the stuff that I normally sync to. But... okay, so for those of you who have never done post-commentary, this basically just entails me watching back the raw footage and blabbing over it. I don't know if I'm going to be in sync, which is why I'm not bothering really with reading stuff. Yeah, this is all just above the air. Okay, so this is the point where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can survive 3 hits from this guy. I think I only need to deal 2. Also, I'm gonna... This next round is a bit, you know, bullshit. Not this one. The one afterwards. By the way, that was my last pepper up potion. I thought you'd like to know. Okay. Okay, no, not this one. That one was just a wash. The next one is the one that, like, okay, this is awful. I hate this. Okay, cast that, and oh man, a crit! Maybe I'm gonna win, and no. Like, guy has 1 hit point left. But that is great. The fact that all enemies, regardless of what they are, have the same, like, little, like, mouse scurrying away noise is great. And yeah, we're making nice with Hermione, like, hey, are you alive? Did we accidentally kill you? And Ron finally realizes, hey, we're in the ladies. Why are we in the ladies? What, Ron? Did you think she would go and cry in, like, the first floor men's toilets? Hermione is taking credit for trying to kill the troll, but actually it was, instead of going like, yeah, Harry and Ron were like little shits to me. We lose some points, but most importantly, Hufflepuff is still in 2nd place. Okay, so here's actually something interesting, which is that Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff have different colors in this game. Ravenclaw is normally red, Hufflepuff's normally yellow, but in this game they are purple and orange. But more importantly, the people who made this game seem to have not gotten the memo about Hufflepuff being the worst house, which is kind of great. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, here I was coming like, yeah, look at how excited Harry is, and that I was making a little joke about, oh yeah, you feel the new card combinations, and I was like, Harry can just feel card combinations. And here's a point where I do something inexcusable. I leave the bathroom without searching for goodies. I don't actually know if I can go back in the girls' bathroom. For all I know, there are some, like, wizard cards or, like, potion ingredients in there. And they're like, yeah, we should go talk to Hagrid. Maybe he knows something about the vicious child-eating animal. The answer is yes. He always knows. But that's the thing about me like that. How are you supposed to keep your eyes on all 3 heads at once? You're limping. Why are you limping? Are you spying on me? Are you spying on my conversation in an empty hallway? Yeah. I half expected him to dock his house points right there. That would actually be great. I love how Harry just jumps to conclusions because he just hates Snape. That might be what I was commenting on right there. And this tea is good, by the way. I like it. It's lemon. Like a little bit of honey. But yeah, so, went in to buy some equipment. Because, hey, I got some money. Oh, no, here's the good part. Here's the part I love. Hello, card collector guy. I had 1 new card combination, 2 new card combinations, 3 new card combinations, 4 new card combinations, 5 new card combinations, 6 new card combinations, 7 new card combinations, 8 new card combinations, 9 new card combinations, 10 new card combinations. Yeah, I've been leaving off checking this for a while. Okay, so one of the ones that we get this time through, which you will see later, is fantastic. It's not Drone, though I do remember Drone being pretty decent. That's actually what's coming up on there. It is... Oh yeah, Double SP is also a pretty good one. I still don't know what Encounter Track does. I could look that up, but I'm probably not going to. Scholarship. That's what we pick up. We've picked up. Scholarship is really good. You will see what it does later, because I do use it later in this video. But no, it is fantastic. And here's where I waste my money on buying new equipment, because look how expensive the equipment is. Seriously. Look how expensive this equipment is. I think this is another, like, oh man, I probably should be grinding more thing. Because, like, look at these things. 8,000 for a belt? 20,000 for a hat? 50,000 for a robe? I wanna say, like, a sickle is supposed to be roughly, like, 4... No, not 4 pounds. It's like roughly poundish, like, in value. So, like, apparently either the Weasley twins are selling stuff to us with a huge markup, or they are, you know, selling us really nice designer stuff. But yeah, no, I'm just pointing out that, like, yeah, look at that big defense boost and all those other big stat boosts. Which actually brings me up to something that I did not notice the first time I was going through here, but I think probably should be mentioned. Which is that this is one of those games where they don't tell you what equipment does before you use it. Which is always fun. You don't actually know if you're buying a better whatever until you buy it. Tea. Yep, we're just heading down to Hagrid's. I do say I appreciate Harry's strut. Oh yes, no, I decided, oh, we're gonna go down to the dungeons. I heard there was like a secret passageway down here, which I don't actually know where it is. Spoilers, we don't find it. We do, however, get into a fight or two. Because here's something interesting about this game. As far as I'm aware, every single area... Or, well, okay, I guess it's not actually interesting, because this is a pretty standard JRPG thing. But, basically, monsters don't upgrade over time. So, like, these enemies are exactly as difficult, exactly as damaging and HP-rich as they were when we first fought them. Which is nothing compared to us. I think... I don't actually remember if it happens here, But there is one point where I basically just use Flipendo Uno on one of them, and they just die. Because I'm Harry Potter. Also, I don't know if I ever brought it up before, but I'm kind of digging the whole like purple and green thing they've got going on for the dungeon. I mean, I like the purple and green more than the blue and green. Yeah, no, it adds like a little bit of color if you like squint, or do what I like to do with like Game Boy games and watch it in like the YouTube mini player, because then it's tiny and it's actually probably approximately the size of a Game Boy Color screen. Oh yes, but here's where we use a card combination, because I was curious. So scholarship, when I first looked at that, I was like, oh, that probably like gives you more XP or whatever. Oh, sure, I'll give that a try. Instead, oh boy. Flashing lights. We get an A! Also, it makes all of our spells have half cost. I also yell at the game because it goes the number of MP instead of, you know, the amount of MP. Which I guess in retrospect, number might be proper, because you have a number of points. But I feel like, you know, most of the time you don't really think of, like, your MP as, oh yeah, we have X number of discrete, you have X discrete mana points. And people think of it more like a fluid quantity, in which case amount would be more appropriate. Also, yeah, I just used Mucus ad nauseum, which is the best spell in the game. Just for full explanation, what it does is you cast it. If it succeeds, and I think it actually has like a 100% chance to succeed or something. Or at least I hope so, because it costs 80 MP normally. But when you cast it, the enemy you cast it on takes 20 damage every single turn. Forever. Like actually legitimately forever. It doesn't stop dealing damage to them. For the rest of the fight, which is really good. There's actually the general advice for beating late game bosses in this game is there's another spell you pick up. We're gonna pick up, not in this video, I think it's like, might be the next one or the one after that. But, like, with that, like, that spell plus Mucus ad nauseum is essentially you cast that one spell first, then you cast Mucus ad nauseum the next turn, and then you just wait. And that is the strategy for killing all bosses. Yeah. It's one of those games. I mean, is it as bad as Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, where my endgame build was killing like screenfuls of enemies in one turn, which happened before any of them could get a move? I think the only time I was actually at risk in the final boss was the fact that you're scripted to be dropped to 1 hit point. That's a game I could do in the future. It's a bit long, and the tutorial's a bit frustrating. But, I mean, it's frustrating in that you can't really skip past it, and it's kind of trying to teach you Babby's first JRPG. Yeah, just because I kind of want to show the combo when it comes online, because it's kind of hilarious how brutal you can get with just, you know, a couple of badges and a pair of pants. Anyway, this game, yeah, we're about to talk to Hagrid. Delectable Chi. Okay, I love how Harry, you know, trusts Hagrid. Like, in the books, Hagrid's basically his cool uncle. So, like, yeah, Harry's gonna be like, oh man, he's this big, awesome guy who saved me from my abusive, like, household. I'm going to follow him to the end of the earth. I would die for this man. But in this game, because it cut out all the, like, hey, you start off with Harry being abused as a child. Which actually, I've come to think of it, I think all of the... that's actually a good point. I think all the Harry Potter video games skip that. You know, in this one, Hagrid has given him no reason to trust him. At all. Hagrid has just put his life in danger. Yeah, no, and Pius shows up, and is a jerk. I would also like to point out, I think this is the first time Harry has gotten, like, a Christmas present in his life. And Peeves just takes it. Harry's gonna murder Peeves. Make it look like an accident. Yeah. And of course Ron is going to stand here like a big dumb bird. I'm gonna walk around. I can't remember why I was pausing. I think it's because I was going like, oh man, should I continue or should I stop? And I was going, nope, it's a good time to stop. I'm gonna instead, like, raid. Check to see if I got magic cards. Got another Dumbledore. Which is good. We want Dumbledores because Dumbledores are for scholarship. Yep, and here I'm just saying goodbye. Anyway, I'm Mappy. This has been Harry Potter Post Commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and goodbye.